Think you know what to pack for a Disneyland day? Today we're unzipping, dumping out, and spilling all our Disney bag secrets.
You're listening to Castle Talk Radio. We're live on the airwaves with Becca and Jessica. Now let's jump into this week's episode.
Jessica, they say you should never go through a woman's purse, but that is exactly what we're going to do today. Between us, we've been to Disneyland more times than we can count, I'm sure. So we know what's worth packing and what just weighs you down. And I also want to point out that neither of us are local to the park. So we are traveling like our listeners most of the time, where we are packing for a full day. We're not just locals that are hopping into the park for a couple hours usually. So let's get to it. Let's spill our secrets from our purses.
Yeah, and we did do this episode back in October of 2021, and it's almost 4 years ago. And really looking back on the episode, I can't believe how much has changed, even in the things that we bring into the parks. I still have the script from the episode, and some of our topics when we do the podcast are a little bit more scripted, and some are just outlined and we roll with it. So it was really funny to me to read this one and see how much I've changed in the things I bring and what I don't bring now. So, Becca, in that episode, you said you were a notorious overpacker for bringing things into the park. Is that still the case for you now?
Yes and no.
Okay, fair.
If I'm with my family, I tend to bring a lot more stuff, especially if we're staying farther away. So if we're not right across the street at one of the good neighbors on Harbor that we've covered, then I tend to bring more because it's farther to get back. When I'm with myself or with my friends, I pack a lot lighter than I used to.
Okay, yeah. And in that episode, I mentioned some random brand name bag that I don't even remember having. And I said, like, it had a million zippers, and that I would bring that bag. And then I would also bring a backpack. And I think now I'm much more pared down. And I do often still get a locker, especially when I need a lot of layers when we have like days that are like weather changing where it's going to start off cool and then get hot and then get cool again. But I try to keep things on my person very minimal. So I think that has changed for me, especially like as my kids has grown. So what bag or bags are you bringing into the park now on a regular basis?
So I used to always bring a backpack. You know me, I had a backpack, it was full, but now I even have them with me so I can show you. Like I use this crossbody bag that I bought at Disneyland a lot. It fits everything except for my water bottle, which I was putting in a sling. But I'm super excited because I just got, and I'll link to this down in the show notes where people can get this. It's a new crossbody, but it's like huge. And I have my Awala, which is a spill-free. It fits my water bottle, and then look how much room is still in the main pocket. Like, it's still huge. It's got a second big pocket and then a front pocket. So this is my new park bag. I'm going to personalize it a little bit, but this is what I take, and I try to keep everything that fits inside of this. But I love the crossbodies like this because a lot of rides you won't have to take them off if you wear them in the park.
Yeah, if you just like something like that, if it's over the belt buckle of the pull down of the ride vehicle, you're able to keep it on. So that's kind of the rule there. So for me, like what I tend to take in the parks now is either like a crossbody fanny pack that's like about this big. It's a Disneyland one. That's like my small like go-to when I know I only need a few things. And then I have like two other kind of options. Let me grab them. They are my biggest option is from Designer Park Company, and this is their first original bag, and it is just a little bit bigger than the Loungefly backpacks. But so I have two of these, but it's a great size. But I find that when I have this size, I load it up too heavy, and then I am like, it's too heavy because like you can put so much stuff in here, and it holds the ears, and it's just super convenient. It has like a place where I can put in like a charger cord and even like hold it in the backpack, and I can charge my phone. It has so many really, really good features: pin holder, ear holder, all the things. But I fill it up too much. So this is like if I need a lot of things. They run about 100, 110, I think. Really great quality. Then she's come out with some other ones. It's like female owned, small business. She's designed all these herself. But this one is the one that I use more often because it's a little bit slimmer profile. Still has the same like features of holding the ears and the pins and stuff like that. And this one is either backpack or you can do like crossbody and pulls up like that. So if you are not watching this on YouTube, you might want to pull this up just to see these. But I do have a link in the show notes as well as a promo code that you can use to save a little bit on these. So I have
Does
kind
that
of like
one have the hole for the what you use it for charging cords, but it's also for hydration?
Yep.
Yeah.
It does have that as well. So super convenient. It just really depends on, like I said, like what I'm going to need that day. But I try to keep it as minimal as possible. I've even used those backpacks like on our family travel as well, and has a lot of functions. But I do not wear like a full-size backpack anymore. That's not usually
I
something
will
I'm
say
bringing
I do
in.
usually take a full-size backpack when I have my family, but it's one of the like lightweight ones made for hiking, and it's just because like I know I'll end up carrying everything. No, my
Yep.
kids are wearing their own fanny packs now or backpacks, but
Hmm.
I do tend to take the bigger one when we're staying farther away, so we don't have to go back. But I am still anti-locker.
Yeah, and it changes on fashion too because like what's in style or what's not, like your bag, your purse, whatever.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't be caught dead with a fanny pack back in before the closure. Like I
seriously,
wouldn't
I
wear
know
this,
it's
but
so
now
fun.
everyone wears them. We just wear them differently.
Okay, so whether it's in style or out of style, whatever, there's some things that go in the bags that are pretty much always in style now. Some of these have changed for me looking back at the last episode that we did in 2021. So, top 5 things that you have to have in your bag at time. All times. Becca, what are your top 5?
My top 5 are, maybe it's not in your bag depending on what you have, but reusable water bottle, refillable one that keeps it cold.
Okay.
I have to have obviously my phone because Disneyland app, and with that comes a charger. Sunscreen, always sunscreen. I personally like right now the powder sunscreens that you can put over, and they're translucent, so you can put them on top of makeup if you're wearing makeup. And I also always have like wet wipes of some sort, even if I don't have my kids with me, because I don't know if you were with me the time that we were in line at Plaza Inn, and this guy was holding his baby while his wife was gone taking the other kid to the bathroom, and the baby spit up all over him, and he didn't have anything to clean up. I'm like, here you go. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I have tons of these.
That's
I always have
perfect.
that. I think that was either 4 or 5. So, and then yeah, those are and sunglasses. Always have to have sunglasses.
Yeah, I definitely agree with those. I don't usually carry the wet wipes, but that is a good one. I would probably phone for sure, phone charger. I mean, everything's on the phone now because like in the past I had like credit cards, cash, ID, but that's like all on my phone now. So ID's on my phone. Um, Credit cards are on my phone. Like, I do like to have those as like a backup, but like I can use Apple Pay at Disneyland. I can use mobile pay when I mobile order my food. But I do like to have like a hair thing or a hair clip for rides to put my hair up, sunglasses for sure, sunscreen. Mostly I care about the face sunscreen, like something little. I always have like a facial sunscreen, and then a little travel sunscreen to put on my arms or neck or whatever if you're putting your hair up because you like forget that you've got that right there.
Yeah.
Lip balm because it
Yes.
seems like it's always windy or something and it's just drying out your lips. And gum. I'm
Yeah.
always chewing gum
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
Like I
Uh,
need it.
yeah. I also, speaking of it drying you out, I bring eye drops because I wear contacts. So I have contact friendly eye drops because the wind, I think it's also the wind from the rides hitting your
It
face,
is.
So I have that. And then I also I bought one of those little pill containers that has like the different little tiny things so I can put all my different over the counter meds in them. So I have like
Mhm.
ibuprofen and then I have Tylenol because I have a family member that can't have NSAIDs. So I have that as well. Those are the other two things that I always have with me.
Yes, that's like a good one. I'm just like crazy, so I just dump everything into like one little baggie or one pill jar. And so my family's like, I need something. And then I dump out all these pills, and I'm like, what do you need? And people probably are like, what is that lady doing with all these
Yeah.
pills? And I'm like,
Okay.
I
So now
swear
I
they're
know
all
what
over the counter.
so I now know what I need to get you, Jessica. You need one of these. Look, there's if you're
I
not on YouTube,
know
you can
they
see it
have the
there.
cutest things
And they
now.
even have
It's
labels
like,
that you can put, like that they some places will print labels that match, but I just took um masking tape and put it on there and labeled them. So
yes, no longer do we have like these big old bulky like Monday through Sunday things like our grandparents had. We now have aesthetic pill organizers because
yeah.
we need to
Well,
look
I
good
still
at
take the
all
Monday
costs.
through Sunday one for my prescription meds, but I have them in there. But for the ones I want to
Exactly.
carry into the park, this little thing.
It's comedy. It's for real. So you do the water bottle and I do not. Like I'm just when it comes to Disney, I'm so awful because I am just like take my money because you're like, I'm bringing my water bottle, I'm filling it up, I am being like good, I'm conserving, and I'm just like, I'll buy the water bottle. I'll
Well,
I'll go ask for the water cup, and
I
I'm like,
have
I
to
don't
say
want to
though,
carry this.
it's also because I don't like my water getting warm. And when it's in those plastic water bottles, it's like the light goes into it, almost like you're holding magnifying glass. They warm up really quick. And I like mine to stay cold. I like ice in my water. So that's the other reason I use this. But I am pretty particular about where I will fill it up, even between their fill stations. And sometimes I do buy water there and fill this up with it.
It's true, yeah, because sometimes the water isn't good. Oh, and that just reminds me, is the Florida water still disgusting?
Yes, you need
Ugh,
to
shoot.
purchase
Okay.
bottled water.
Well, let's keep going because it also, like we said, it changes on who you're going with and what you're bringing. So if you are bringing younger kids, say like 10 and under, we're going to be bringing different things, especially if you're bringing like babies and stuff. Now, if you have babies, toddlers, you're used to bringing like a diaper bag, a baby bag everywhere. So some of those essentials are going to be the same. You're going to keep that diaper bag stocked. You know those things are staying in there. Those diapers, the wipes, the changing pad, the extra outfits, all of those things. You're going to want to make sure you have little socks or shoes for the babies. They need to have those to go on the attractions. But
Yeah.
what else are really good things to bring for little kids,
I
little
always
ones?
brought the table protectors, like the
Mhm.
little plastic play mats, the placemats that stick on the table. See, this is where I'm like consumerism, not being good for the
Yes.
planet. But it was just because if you have kids, you know it's impossible to get them to keep their food on a napkin or something like that, especially napkins blow away if it's windy. So I always brought that when my kids were little. And then always had snacks, always. Even if I was like, the sky's the limit on the budget, I knew that they would want food at a time that we were like in line or something like that. So having snacks at the ready to give them when they're hungry, it really helps avoid meltdowns. So
Yeah, exactly. Because they can't give you those cues when, like, it as early as they need to, because they're going to be hungry
yeah.
right when they are, and you just don't have the time to
Yeah,
get
and
those
speaking
things, so you
of,
need to have
you
them.
talked about the diapers. I have forgotten diapers when I had twins that were babies, and I had to go to the baby center to buy some. So they do sell diapers and wipes there, but they are the most expensive diapers you will ever buy.
Mhm. Mhm.
So definitely try not to forget those. Um, and then also, you need to pack extra outfits for your kids because you never know what's going to happen. An accident, even kids that are potty trained, they don't want to tell you they need to leave the line or something. Also, spills. So I say any kid under 10, you need to have an extra outfit for, unless you're staying like on site or right across the street and can run back and change. So
Mhm.
extra outfit.
And of course, in an emergency, they do sell cute little Disney underpants in these stores because they are in there, and shoes and all kinds of things that you might need. And if you don't see something you need, you can always ask them because some things they do keep behind the counter. Small games and toys, little things that they can play with. We like to do like the I found it game cards, things like that that are
Yeah.
like quickly portable that you can play with just as you're walking. You don't want anything that you're going to have to like set up majorly. Little
Yeah.
things like that. We've talked about like the clothes and things like that. I have had to buy like flip-flops as we've ruined shoes because people thought for sure they weren't going to get them wet. In that case, now I'm bringing shower caps, which we've done in the past for like keeping hair dry, but now we put those on shoes too. If people don't want to bring like sandals for water rides, you just slip those right over your shoes, and you can get like a pack of 100, or you could get a pack of 10 for like $1. So easy to do for water rides. And you
Okay, but
said extra clothes.
our kids
Go
are
ahead.
older now.
Yeah,
So what
it's
are we
harder to bring
bringing?
extra pairs of shoes that are this big, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. But teens, tweens, what are we bringing? Because, okay, I have a tween, not my teen, although he does too, but one of my tweens thinks he's an adult. And you've been to the parks with him. He like wants to have all the things and that stuff. So, what are you bringing for them?
Okay, well, they have devices. So, first off, we want to make sure that we have locations turned on their device. We stay together often, but there's also a chance that they're going to leave their device somewhere. And that has happened a couple times in the parks. And there are features that you can turn on, like if the device is lost. And luckily, like my husband had already had that set up. And so when my daughter left her phone somewhere, he just turned on this feature. And so on the home screen, it said, like, this device is lost, call this number or whatever. So, like, someone else had a phone and they called my husband's phone and said, like, I have this other phone. And we were able to meet up with them right away and get her phone. So that was a lifesaver. And then also, like, we had the location turned on so we could generally see where her device was. That was helpful. And then also, like, if they are running off to get like a snack or something, or you're letting them go on a ride themselves. So, device and like extra safety features with that. And then making sure that they have chargers as well, and cords and things like that. When they leave me, I make sure that they have a charging device. I still use the fuel rods, those charging devices that they have in the parks, just because you can swap those out without a fee. And I give those to the kids, make sure they have one anytime that they leave me, so that they can never run out of charge on their phone, and they can always contact me.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so let's just give a couple other things that we like to have. One for me is in the summer, I really love having cooling towels. And like, I just bought a new one. I don't have it down here, but it's a little tiny clip on fan that can just clip to your collar and blow right at your
Cool.
face, or you can clip it to your pants and have it blow up your shirt. So I really like those. And then I always try and bring when I have my kids with me because they aren't used to walking that much. Like I'm there a lot, so I walk a lot and I don't really need it. But blister protection stuff, whether it's liquid Band-Aid or moleskin, whatever is your favorite. So what are you bringing that we haven't mentioned yet?
Well, yeah, I have the Band-Aids and the moleskins, and then I also have some like liquid bandages because
Mhm.
even if it's like shoes you wear, sometimes after you're wearing them so long and like in different environments, like the extra moisture or sweat or water from the water rides, it just, gives you irritation differently. We talked about medications, like over the counter medications for sure, um, extra hair things, hats as well, because I'm always bringing my sunglasses, but sometimes you're not used to wearing those for like 10 hours a day. And I really need some sun protection, especially after having like LASIK. My eyes are really sensitive to the sun. And so I'm just like, I have to have something covering. Um, Other things we used to do a ton is bring glow sticks for nighttime because they're so cheap when you buy them outside of the parks. And then it's really fun to just have like everybody have glow sticks in your group wearing like a necklace or bracelet or whatever they want to like build while you're waiting for fireworks or parade. And then you can locate each other really easily because the parks get super dark.
Yeah. Okay, so we're basically out of time, but let's talk about what to leave at home, especially things that maybe we used to bring and now we don't.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Big toys and like accessories, things that they're not going to use. Even now, my girls want to bring a pair of Minnie Mouse ears to match every outfit, and they'll still pack them. And then I'm like, "Are you gonna bring those to the park today?" And they're like, "Nah, because I'm not gonna wear them. I'm just gonna end up carrying them all day." They know, like, if they bring them, they have to carry them. So then they end up just not bringing them in the park.
Yeah, that's a good one. For me, it's the big DSLR cameras. So I used to carry mine. I have done photography in the past. I do love taking photos in Disneyland, but anymore, our phone cameras, especially if you have an Android, shout out to Androids there. Um, they're amazing. And even the iPhone ones, they're amazing. And between that and PhotoPass, I just don't feel like most people need that big DSLR. So
For
leave it
sure.
home. It's bulky. I'm always worried that it's gonna like get beaten up while I take it on rides and things. So yeah, leave that at home.
Yeah, definitely. And then along with like other things, be sure that you check out a list that Becca has of things that you cannot bring into the parks because there's some random ones like loose ice
Yeah.
and different things if you're bringing in food because you can bring in your own food and snacks and even lunches and things like that. But check out Becca's list, which we can link to in the show notes as well. And of course, if you're planning your trip to Disneyland, we want to make sure that you get there as cheaply and as low cost as possible. So you can go to getawaytoday.com/castle talk. Anytime you buy tickets from there, you are getting the very best price and you are supporting our small business, Castle Talk Radio, and Getaway Today, which is also a woman operated business. And we love saving you, giving you the best discounts. So that is getawaytoday.com/castle talk. And we'll see you guys real soon at Disneyland. And when we see you, we'll show you what's in our bags. Why not?